I've been in Australia for 4 months, and my first 6 weeks I spent volunteering at a kangaroo and wildlife shelter in Victoria. I met a lot of people, I met a lot of kangaroos, and I learned a hell of a lot about how kangaroos are perceived here in Australia, especially by the government. These are the eastern grey kangaroo. They're the species many people imagine when they think of Australia, but the reality behind their lives is far less romantic. Almost every joey here was rescued from a dead mother's pouch after a car accident, or perhaps cut free from a fence they got tangled in. Their stories start in trauma, but places like this give them a second chance. Each morning begins quietly, cleaning the house and the pouches where they sleep and feeding them their bottles. This can also include administering any medication that they're on. Then we head down to the main enclosure to feed the older roos. After that, it's raking, scooping the yard and making sure that every space is safe. It's not glamorous work, but it's the kind of work that keeps them alive. There's also the outdoor enclosure, the kind of halfway house for kangaroos who have already been released. They're free to wander the bush 24/7, but many still come back for food, shelter, or just a familiar face. What surprised me the most is how misunderstood kangaroos are even here in Australia. Internationally, they're seen as symbols of the country, but in reality, they're one of the most heavily persecuted animals in the world. Every year, government population estimates are used to justify large-scale commercial killing, numbers that many experts argue are exaggerated, inconsistent, or simply impossible. As kangaroo populations have declined, the messaging has only grown louder. Claims of plagues, overabundance, and environmental destruction, even though much of the real damage comes from habitat loss, land clearing, and cattle grazing. In the last 15 years, commercial shooting has moved from remote regions into the fringes of the suburbs, bringing distress to not only the wildlife, but the people who live alongside them. And despite countless inquiries and reviews, and even updates to national nature laws, not one has meaningfully protected kangaroos or nearly 100 other native species targeted by government-approved killing programs. Altogether, around 4 to 5 million animals are lost each year, not including those lost to land clearing. So places like this shelter matter. They're small, they're under-resourced, and they're run by people who refuse to look away. And spending time here, you realise that every joey saved, every adult healed, and every roo that hops back into the bush is part of a much bigger picture.